some guys grow up like, their dads are electricians and you go do electric work with your dad. I didn't. I just went to the firehouse. Like that's what I did. I didn't know anything else. So all cousin, we call him cousin, but our families were not related. They were from the firehouse. Yeah. Like that's what it was. Yeah. Like that was my family.
That's how it is. Yeah.
So
welcome to the Firehouse, the show dedicated to the brave men and women who serve our community.
And welcome to the Firehouse on WRHU 88.7. I am your host, Chris Moses, and today, sitting with me in the Firehouse, this is a special one right here, because I've known him for a while. It's my boy, Sean. What's going on,
What's
brother?
up, bro? How are you?
I'm good. Now, I'm not going to give too much away because I know a lot already, but I'm going to let you just tell the audience your name, tell them, I guess, what department you kind of were born into or are honorary of, and then what department you're actually in now and what ranks you've held. All right?
So I'm Sean. I'm, I guess, honorary member of Uniondale.
That's right.
Grew up in around Truck 4.
There you go.
So protection.
That's right. Protection in
my
the building.
My grandfather would remind me that it was Meadowbrook Hook and Ladder, I think,
there you
first.
Go, yep.
Yeah, so now I was a member in 2 departments in Maryland. The first was Bay District Volunteer Fire Department, and now I'm a member of Hollywood.
Okay, so what ranks have you held, like, throughout the fire service?
Have
you held any ranks,
I was a junior. As a kid, I was like the captain of the junior. I feel like everybody that comes on the show is a captain of the juniors.
That's like the step up. That's the way to go.
I was a captain of the juniors, and then at Bay District, I was a fireman, sergeant, lieutenant, captain. Okay. So I was the captain of the company, and then at Hollywood, just regular fireman.
Just fireman, just doing what you do. So,
doing it.
In a whole, how long do you think your service has been in the fire service?
Probably 11, 12 years.
11, 12 years. Yeah. Sean, I know you got some stories, and we're going to get into those stories. Stories. But let's start from the beginning. Like, what made you – I already know most of the answers. So it's hard to do an interview when you know the person, right? But for the audience, like, what made you want to join in the fire service?
So I think –
Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah, for me, I was born into it. Like, my father was the fire chief of Syosset Fire Department when I was born.
All right.
So – it was like I didn't grow up with
Your first stop was probably to the firehouse.
Yeah, 100% on the way home. Yeah.
On the way home, stop at the firehouse.
Yep.
Take a picture in front of the rig.
Yep,
and then
100%. My mom tells it. I took a picture on the ladder truck, and then went home.
And then go home.
Yep.
First bit.
Every time. So, for me, I grew up around it. I didn't know anything else. Yeah. I didn't grow up with like some guys grow up like, their dads are electricians and you go do electric work with your dad. I didn't. I just went to the firehouse. Like that's what I did. I didn't know anything else. So all I wanted to do, it was never forced on me. It was never something that my dad had to push. I think I was sometimes more into it than he was. Like Dad, let's go. So that was it. I don't know anything else.
You don't know anything else but that. Yeah. So let's get into a little bit of Billy. So how to explain that a little bit. How you ended up coming in, because, your father's at Syosset, so that's where you're going. Yeah. Then all of a sudden you're coming down to Uniondale. Just explain that whole dynamic.
So my mom was a county medic.
Okay.
She was a police medic. So that's her father is Billy.
Okay.
So when she would go to work and work weekends, I would go Friday. I would like be waiting, like my bag packed. I had my own set of gear packed up waiting. My mom would drive me to NUMC. My grandfather would come pick me up, and I'd be with him till Sunday night. And I looked forward to nothing every week but that. Like, I just wanted to be with him. By far my best friend. Like, I Presto's Pizza Friday nights. Like, Uniondale was my spot. And waking him up, he's an older guy. He was a bigger dude, waking him up. And then it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, going to an automatic alarm, and he's driving with his blue lights on, taking me. I'm like, let's go. Like, it was sick. Yeah. So, and the guys of protection, like, literally made me feel like I was one of them. Like, they were awesome for me. And I think it's because they respected him so much. So they were like, Sean's in. Like, he's in. Whatever. Sunday drills, I was getting dressed with the boys. Up here at Mitchell Field, like the old gas stations and stuff. Yeah. So
wow, he said the old gas station.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That was my first fire. I think it was like 14.
We used to smoke that gas station out, man. I remember that. Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's some good times. But all right, so you basically were born into this. This is what you do. Mm-hmm. So let's backtrack a little bit. You were in the juniors, you did that. you're with your grandfather. You're learning all of that. What is the first company or first department that you joined?
So I was in Manorville. So we moved out east. My dad got a job, and we moved out east. So I joined Manorville Roadrunners engine company.
So you're 18.
I was 16 and a half.
16 and a half. Yeah. So explain that, because I did see that.
Yeah. So
because I know Uniondale for a fact is 18.
Yeah. So I was in the Explorer program. Okay. So with the Boy Scouts of America, I don't even know if they still do it, but at 16 and a half, you can become a member of the department. So I think that like we were in, like, and it was cool, because now I'm riding fire trucks with my dad. So that was like a dream.
How did that go?
It was awesome.
With your dad, did you?
It was cool. My dad drove me to some
Did
fires.
You ever respond with him?
Yeah, he used to drive me all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. I know how that feeling is.
And he was a chief growing up, and then he was like, you know what? Let me get back in the mix. Then he ends up as like the captain of the company. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like,
he's like,
I'll just do it. Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. My son's here. I might as well.
Yep.
Just go ahead and do it.
Yeah. So me and both my brothers.
Manorville.
Yep. Manorville. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Which was a culture shock for me. Then going to Maryland, like, go from Manorville, nice area, to now I'm in a low income, high crime. We're running shootings every night. I'm like, what are we doing?
What is going on?
Yeah. So it was cool.
So you're in Manorville. Let's keep walking through, right?
Yep.
So, you're also decide to enlist in the Navy, right? So thank you for your service first. But what makes you want to do that, and where does that land in?
I'll be honest, I didn't want to go to college. Okay. And I was like, my goal at the time, I was like, I want to come back. I want to be a New York City fireman, and I knew I had to get college or military. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go and go in the military. So I did. My mom signed up for me, and my mom and dad, I was like 17, I think, because they had to sign it, because I couldn't sign it because I was 18 yet. I graduated high school in May of 2015, and I was gone in July.
Wow.
Yeah. So
literally from
high school, Navy, right and out. Yeah.
How's that jump? Like
it was hard, because it was like an adjustment. Like, I try to explain to people that aren't from Long Island, aren't from the fire department, they don't understand. Like, I get terrible FOMO, so I'm like, I'm gonna miss like fires. Like, I can't. Like, how am I gonna do this? Best decision I ever made in my life, though. Okay. I got to see the world. I got to go around, meet friends that I still talk to now,
that you still have.
So, yeah.
So you're there in the Navy for 6 years, right?
Yep.
For 6 years, you're there, and now you decide to go to Maryland. Why to Maryland?
So I had orders to go to Washington State.
Okay.
I got caught, and they were like, I'm not going to Washington State. Like, I'm about to get out. Yeah. So they're like, well, you can go to Maryland. I was like, all right, cool. Maryland's right not far from Long Island. I can still drive home.
Quick 3-hour drive, and I'm there.
Yeah, I'm home. So I went down there, and I planted my feet there and never left. I joke and say, like, something in the water here makes you stay.
It just
like,
makes you stay.
Yeah.
So now where does, and we're going to get a little bit into it, but your actual job of being an officer, right?
Yeah.
Where does that come in? Like you're in Maryland when that happens?
Yeah. So I was in the Navy.
So you're in the Navy doing that, right? And then that 6-year mark is starting to hit, right? So then you decide you're going to go to Maryland. Then is that when?
So I was still in the Navy, and then while I was in, same thing. Like, I feel like everybody that is a fireman on Long Island will tell you, take every test.
That's right.
Take everything.
Take it all.
Take it all. So I took the test there, and I got hired like right away. Wow. It was like quick, and I was like, all right, like, nobody else at this point. Like, I was like, I'm considering staying here. Like, financially, it's a better move. Like, I could have way better quality of life. The Firehouse is good, so I was like, all right, let me try to see if I can stayed, and work. I've done well at work, so there's no reason really for me to leave now.
Leave.
Yeah.
And then you joined the volunteers in Maryland too.
Yeah.
Right?
So I was in the Firehouse. I was living in the Firehouse while I was in the Navy.
We got to talk about that, because you said that off air.
Yeah.
First, before we even get into the living in the Firehouse, what is the difference, right, from being a volunteer in Maryland to being a volunteer on Long Island?
Everything.
Everything. You got to walk us through that.
Yeah, dude,
I mean, even if you want to hit the living, because there's no such thing of that in Long Island, of living in I mean, we live here because we're always there.
Right.
But
Yeah. No, I mean, from the...
In the heart of Blue Point, New York, the Johnny Mac Foundation stands as a beacon of hope and resilience. Founded in memory of FDNY firefighter John F. McNamara, who lost his life to 9/11 related cancer, this foundation embodies his enduring motto: whatever it takes. To supporting first responders and their families, the Johnny Mac Foundation is committed to making a long-lasting impact. Join us in honoring John's legacy and making a difference. Visit at johnnymacfoundation.org to learn more and contribute.
From the turning the wheel out the door, like the pace is very different.
Okay.
Very cutthroat. Like it's not like there's no, for where we're at, like people joke like because they see us running in videos and stuff like that, but like these guys truly care. Like they're like, no, like if my house is on fire, like trot up the block and let's go to work. Like they focus on that, and they pride themselves in the engine company. They pride themselves in how they stretch hand lines. They pride themselves in throwing ladders, and it's similar to, like, I would say, like the DMV area is very different than Long Island. Like you make a wrong turn, you're like from first and you're like basically off the box. Like it's you're done. Like don't just pack up and go home. Like it's like yeah.
You might as well forget
it. Forget it. Yeah.
It's everything's already out, everything's done.
Yeah. They put fires out very quickly.
Now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
And they put hose in the street for everything.
Wow.
Like I remember like what hooked me, and I'm 8 up. Like I was a buff like growing up.
Yeah.
These guys are all buffs. They don't know they're buffs because they're normal for them. But like these guys up here would be like, these guys are nuts, dude.
Nuts.
Yeah, these guys are buffs, but it's normal for them.
That is funny that you said that. Like they don't know they're buffs.
Yeah,
because
they
I'm
don't.
from here.
Yeah.
So I know, like, wow, which is comfortable for me because we love buffs.
Yeah.
You don't realize you're a buff. If you went anywhere else, that's what you'd be called.
Yes, you are 8 up. Like
you are.
I'm into it.
Explain the live-in thing. Like, how does that even work? Do you pay rent? Do you?
Nah. So I got lucky. So I could tell stories about the Firehouse and the guys forever, but there was me and another guy who's another Long Island guy who was in the Navy too. Ended up like very similar path as me.
Okay.
He lived there. I was like, well, I'm paying rent in an apartment, but I could live in the Firehouse for free and collect
like a no-brainer.
And collect my paycheck. I was like, why would I not do this?
Yeah.
And we were going to fires. So I was like, I would be like coming from home and getting on the ladder truck, and I'm like, dude, by the time I get to fire, like it's done. Yeah. So I'm like, I could live there and I'm out the door right away. Yeah. So the only requirement is you live there, you got to get on the fire truck, you got to wake up. You have to wake up. As long as you wake up and get on the fire truck and go, you're good. So
what are there rooms? Are there just
bunks? So
is it
where
a bunk room?
Yeah, so Hollywood has a bunk room.
Okay.
I didn't live there. I lived at Beta District. They upstairs is kind of almost like it's set up like a college dorm, long hallway, bunch of doors on each side. Everybody's got a room, big bathroom, showers and everything, and the guys.
Bro, I actually like
it. Dude, it was dope. Yeah.
Dope.
I loved it.
I really like that. Yo, imagine me living at Brookside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you never miss anything.
You never miss anything.
Never.
You're always there anyway. So what's the difference?
What's the point? Yeah.
Wow. So there's no rent. There's no nothing. Nah. Only thing you're paying for is just board, just your food. And
your
that's
food.
it.
Yeah. And most of your food is the guys are throwing in, getting dinner. Yeah. Everybody's
dinner
cooking
and things like that.
Yep.
That's actually great, man.
Yeah. It was
That's
good.
something that should be brought to Long Island. I wonder what the logistics are on that.
I've seen young kids too. Like we've had like 18-year-old kid like lost nowhere, doesn't know what to do. And he moves in the Firehouse, and there's one kid, he's literally a career fireman now. He came from nothing. Like one of my best friends, I won't call his name out. He's a chief there now, and he came from nothing, like literally nothing, and moved into Firehouse. The Firehouse, he is fully invested in that volunteer Firehouse. He's a professional firefighter too. Yeah, but he's paid. That Firehouse has almost paid his life. Like, it's all volunteer.
That's something that we need to look at. So all my people that are watching this and the commissioners that are watching this throughout all of Long Island, that may be something that can happen. I can imagine someone 17, 18 really doesn't have anything. You let them stay at the Firehouse. First of all, you have a body always in
That's
there,
the biggest thing. The fire truck gets on the street.
Always. You always got someone there, and now you're shaping their life. This is what they want to do. So that's actually great. I like to hear that, man. I know that must be fun, man.
Dude, we had some good times in the Firehouse.
That must be really, really fun. All right, so talking about those good times, Sean, let's get into some stories. What you got for me?
I don't know. What do you want? Story? Fire or what?
Whatever.
Yeah, so living there was cool when I lived there because we had 10 dudes.
I know the pranks must be insane
out of
living
control.
There. It's just like...
Walk out to work, you're like cars wrapped in saran wrap. You're like, what are we doing here? Or like, you park somewhere and then somebody's got to park like on top of you just so you can't leave for work. I'm like, all right. But I mean, I got lucky when I lived there. I lived there at a good time.
Yeah.
We were going to a lot of fires, like weekly. I remember living there, right? It was the night my grandfather passed away. We went to 3 fires, like within 72 hours. Like we were rocking. But yeah, like what do you want? Like a fire?
Yeah. Whatever you got for me.
I gotta think. Yeah, no. So the way that the dispatching is down there is very different than here.
Okay, we could start there. Like
so and that'll kind of tie into it. So like a brush fire, right?
Okay.
Is a brush truck response. Like you're not dumping the firehouse. You're not, or an automatic alarm. You're getting an engine company. You're not going engine truck rescue from 5 sides of town and running. Like it's very different.
Okay.
So I think it has its pros and cons. I think that the guys don't get as many reps, like getting on the truck like the other companies, but also they're available for the next run.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Chiefs, like we're not taking chiefs on fire alarms. It's just not a thing. Like,
wait, the chief doesn't come?
No, absolutely not. Yeah, chiefs are coming to like fires and like stuff that a command structure would have to be established at. They're not running like nonsense runs.
Yeah.
So
automatics and all that.
And it's crazy because
that's funny because out here it's the exact opposite.
Complete opposite.
The chiefs are going to little bull calls.
Yeah, and like growing up, I was like, oh my god, like I want to be a chief. I want a chief's car one day. Like I want to be able to race to an automatic alarm. And now I'm like, what was I thinking? I'm like there's sometimes the chiefs will get in the front seat and ride, like they'll ride in charge, or they'll drive. Like they're more worried about the fire truck hitting the street than the chief's car getting there.
Yeah.
Because I think, chiefs, it's great, but like you get there with a chief's car and you got fire blowing out 4 windows, you're not doing anything, so it's nice to have them come and get the ladder truck out or something,
Yeah.
So unit dispatching, so we get put out for a outside fire, just a brush fire. That's how they dispatch it. So it's a single brush truck response. Turn out of the firehouse, or we come downstairs, and it's not a rush thing. Like we're going to brush fire.
So it's like
nobody else is coming, so we don't have to really rush. So my buddy looks at me and he's like, I think I was a lieutenant at the time. He's like, let's take the engine. I'm like, dude, it's a brush fire. We're not taking the engine. He's like,
we're not taking the brush.
But I'm like, you know what? There's 4 of us here. If 2 of us leave on the brush truck, then that only leaves 2 back. So if we get an engine run, we got to wait for them to come back.
That's right.
The staffing is very big. Like you cannot leave the firehouse understaffed.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, whatever. We'll take the engine. So my another guy, really good dude, he was driving us, very smart. We turn out the firehouse and it's just standing in the sky. Like just the smoke is like, I'm like, oh boy. I'm like, dude, we got to maybe we should have taken the brush truck. Like it's probably a brush fire. So it was literally a right out of the firehouse and straight, like running routes and stuff is big there. Like you got to know running routes. You got to know the box areas. So we turn right out of the firehouse. Like I said, we make another right. And I'm like, all right. So I'm like, let me put my pants on. Like, let's see what happens. So I put my pants on. Now we're like coming across the block more, and now there's flames in the air. And I'm like, something's not right here. And they're like, I think it was still fire. They called themselves Fireboard at the time. They're like, Fireboard engine 3-2. I'm like, they're like, yeah, we're filling out the box. Callers reporting fire in the store. So I'm like, oh boy.
Wait, store?
Yeah. So it's a seafood restaurant. So I'm like getting dressed real quick, and the same thing.
Where did they get brush fire from? Just because of
somebody drove past it in the back. They didn't see it.
Oh, they didn't see it.
They didn't see it. So we pull up.
Good thing you brought the engine.
I know. That's what I said. So I was like, because I'd been mad because literally a second, like how close it was, the second new engine company, before we were even in the building, they were already there with the line stretched. So that's how quick it is.
Wow.
So knowing your area, there's 2 hydrants. If I knew the box, like if we were running it as a fire, I would have ran it a completely different way and laid out from a different location. But at that point, we were committed. So we ended up picking up our own hydrant. We run a long line. We have long lines, 400 feet.
Wow.
So we run the 400 up. My buddy, he's looking at me. He's like, dude, come on, get me in, because the engine company officer's doing your forcible entry.
Yeah.
So
wait, yeah.
Yeah. So for the nozzleman, we have the nozzle, I call it the pipe man. We have the pipe man. I'll do his forcible entry for him.
Okay.
Just with a Halligan bar.
Yeah.
So we go to the back of the store. There's fire out, smoke out at every eave of this building. There is, the back of the store is rocking. And like everybody gets that tunnel vision, and it happens. I've been to a ton of fires at this point, and I'm like, there's a back door. I got to get in the back door. I'm like, why am I trying to get in the back door? Like, that doesn't even make sense. I can't force the back door because it's fully engulfed. So we end up going around, lights out, typical, like just good fire, like hot. So it's a seafood restaurant, like I said. So they have those big like prep tables.
Yep.
We've ate there before, so I kind of knew the layout.
Okay.
But again, lights out, you can't see nothing. I see a refrigerator, lit up, like the Pepsi refrigerator. Go in the back, pull the table up. I'm like, it's hot. I can hear it, but I can't see it. I got no idea where this is at.
That's scary right there.
Yeah, and you're in a commercial building, like,
you're like,
and it's just two of us, or at this point.
Wow.
Maybe three. I think one of the other engine company officers with us. So I'm like, James, that's his name, the Long Island guy. I'm like, James, come on, come down here. He's like, I'm coming. So he gets down to me. I'm like, hold on, we got to find this thing. So I look up and like a little vent, I see like a glow. I'm like, there it is, right there.
It is right there.
So I don't think drop ceiling. I'm like, drop ceiling. I'm like, hey, come over here. I'm going to open up and just put it out. So I hit the drop ceiling. Well, the entire ceiling comes down now. Like not like a collapse, like it's just drop ceiling. But the entire back of the store is like free burning. I'm like, and we're both sitting there and we're staring at the ceiling, looking at it, and we're like, this is awesome. And I'm like, all right, put it out. Like, we got to put it out now. We can, yeah.
Let's take a second and just look at the awe. Now, all right, now we got to do our job. Let's get it going.
Yep.
That is dope,
that
man.
That dude that was on the nozzle, who we went to a lot of fires together when, like, I was captain, lieutenant, sergeant, and he was my nozzleman on like all of them.
And just to touch on that, what does that do just for our listeners, for your relationship with him? Oh, like, what does that do?
Yeah, so like we had
For over 50 years, Fire News has been the preferred publication for fire, rescue, and EMS heroes. Fire News print edition reaches Long Island, 17 states, and the District of Columbia. Visit firenews.com to see the latest news, read their digital prints, or follow them on Facebook and Instagram pages. In print, online, on social media, Fire News has you covered. Visit firenews.com. And if you go ahead and go visit on Instagram, please leave a comment and tell them that WRHU 88.7 the Firehouse sent you.
We didn't know each other. We grew up down the street from each other. No idea who we were.
Okay.
We both had very similar upbringings. His father was a New York City fireman, so like he was around it his whole life too. Mm-hmm. So he's around it his whole life. I'm around it my whole life. He goes in the Navy. I go in the Navy. Then we end up in the same firehouse. Then we're living there together. Like, it's the unbreakable bond. Like, there's nothing you can compare it. And I can say that about so many people in the firehouse. Yeah. Like, you cannot compare it to anybody.
It's so, what I always like to say is, once you go into a fire with someone, it's just like this bond that you could never break. You know?
Yeah.
That happens, and you're running calls with this person, and then you're in these dangerous situations. You become like,
we were able to like just cue off of each other.
We
knew
each other.
Like, it got to the point, like, I didn't tell him what line had to get stretched. He knew what line had to get. We never
each other
from
words
the beginning.
at this moment.
Yeah, we knew, like, all right, let's go. We're going to work. Like,
we're going to work. We're doing that.
No communication.
Quick question. Let's backtrack a little bit to you being an officer, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm sure you didn't come in K9, right? Or did you start in K9?
No.
Okay, yeah.
I was a cop, You
was a cop.
Yeah.
So how did that transition happen? Mm-hmm. And then just talk a little bit about that, because that's interesting, you know?
Yeah. No, I became a cop.
What is the name of of your canine?
Atlas. Atlas is his name.
Yeah.
Right. So he's actually named after a guy that's like an uncle to me growing up.
Okay.
He was a NYPD.
So you get to name him?
Yeah.
Okay, so walk us through that, because I don't know anything about that. Like, how does that work?
So I became a cop. K9 opened up. I knew I wanted to go to K9.
Okay.
So I was like, let's see. Like, I make jokes all the time. Like, I gave up 2 years of my personal life and focused on becoming a dog handler, like just making myself the best candidate for that job.
Okay.
Which is now.
So you have to have the skills already before. I thought they would teach you.
No. Yeah, no. Like I'm saying, like, package wise, like when I walked in, I was like, you're not going to be able to. Yes, you're not going to be able to tell me no. Yeah, like you're not going to be able to.
Because
I've outworked everybody, and like that's how, when I get on, just personally, like when I find something, I'm going to do it
to the max.
There's no turning back.
Yeah.
So they had an opening. I put in for it, tried out. So it's like a PT test, interview, take a bite, like all the stuff. So I did that, got selected, and then like 3-4 months later, the trainer and I and a couple of the guys in the unit, like some like really good dudes I look up to, left. We all went to Pennsylvania, selected the dog. They have like a kennel that they import dogs from. My dog's from Hungary.
Okay.
So we went up, selected.
So they're all
dogs.
Like
No. Like they breed for police dogs.
For police dogs.
Yeah,
okay, got
overseas.
You. Okay.
So they bring them. We went and tested them. Selected my dog. Left brought him home, and then I went through 7 months of school with him, learned how to be a dog handler.
And then he lives with you and everything, right? Like
24/7. Yeah.
So he's up with you when it's time to go to work. Let's go, Atlas.
Yeah.
Let's
get in the car. Yeah. He's named after a dog, NYPD ESU canine, Atlas.
Okay.
It was like a guy that, like I was saying, he's like an uncle to me growing up. He was the first dog at the World Trade Center on 9/11. Wow. Okay. So dog lived, he lived, but dog died later of cancer from 9/11. Yeah. So I named the dog after him.
After that. So just walk us through. So, for your job, when it comes with you and Atlas, right? Do you train every day with him? Yeah. How does all of that happen?
Yeah. So we work the street. Like we work regular patrol with canine. Like, so it's like the guys call for the dog. We try to stay available for if they need the dog's there. Okay. We do training twice a month, I think, as a unit, and then we train like on our own a lot. So
does Atlas have off days? Like, I'm just not in the mood.
when I'm off, he's off. Yeah, he's like a dog. Like,
so he has an attitude.
Yeah, he's got problems. Yeah, he's like, dude, we're not doing it today. I'm like, yeah, we are, and you're better. And he does it. So,
but he doesn't want to. You can tell. Like, dude, you don't want to do this. But you got to do this.
They're animals.
Same way I got to go to work. You got to go to work too.
Yeah, I fell into canine from the military. Actually, I got to work with military working dogs, and I watched and heard stories of dogs literally saving dudes' lives overseas and like finding bombs for people. And I was like, yeah, those dogs are pretty legit. That's how I got into it. And then in the civilian side, like I have a drug dog, but we do patrol work and bite work and all that stuff. So like hunting man, like you talk about that, like trying to find somebody that really did something really bad. Yeah, it's like the only high I can compare to it is going to a fire. Wow. Like for me, it's going to a fire or trying to find somebody that just did something bad. It's the only comparable thing.
That's wow. So one quick question about that. I was always told you cannot pet a police dog, right?
Yeah. So he's chill. Like at home, he's a different dog. Okay. Most of our dogs at home, they're like, we make jokes. They're like, they're little girls at home, but at work they're these like
Do you have any other dogs at home, or you're not allowed?
No, you can have other dogs. I personally don't. Okay, yeah, he lives outside. He's got an outdoor kennel and everything. Okay. We got like heater and stuff, and he loves it. He hates when he's inside. He knows he's working. So inside my house, he's all over, jumping all over stuff, trying to do work. I'm like, nah, bro, it's just chill time.
Just chill.
Yeah, so I don't bring him inside anymore.
Yeah. But so I know for a fact you're not supposed to pet. Like,
yeah, so a lot of that has to do with like the socialization of the dog. Like, so my dog he's used to working around a lot of people, and people say dogs and humans, like dogs are really smart, and they know, they see a guy with a vest, a gun belt, all this stuff. They know like I can't bite that dude. So at home he's like a complete opposite, where like he's like free. He's like,
I'm off of work.
Yeah, he's like, I'm off. So people like can come over and like see him, and he's fine. Yeah, but I'm careful with him because I don't never want to take the risk. It's an animal. You don't know what he's saying.
It's still an animal, so you never know. But he's trained up to the T, so you should be good.
And he's gone to some fires with me too. I've taken him, in the car, in my work car, like throw my second set of gear in there and go to a fire.
And go with him. Yeah. I love that. All right, so let's get back into a fire a little bit, all right? Yeah. Got a quick question for you.
Yep.
A common myth that you want to debunk about firefighting right now.
Firemen are just destructive when we're breaking windows and stuff. People always say that, like, why are they breaking windows? Why are they kicking doors and doors?
It's a rhyme to the reason.
There's it. Yeah, it's a step-by-step process that we go through, and everybody's like, I don't understand. Like, you guys are just breaking stuff. It's like, no, it's not it. Like, it's not. You don't understand. Just stay in your line. Let me stay in mine.
Let me do my job.
Yeah, let me do what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, that's like, I've always heard that growing up. It's like, oh, you guys are just destructive, tearing places apart. Like, what? No, it's not how it is at all. Yeah,
you know how much.
I don't want to come back here. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
But that takes some time for people to understand, civilians to understand.
Yeah.
All right, so you know what we could do? Let's get into the flashover. All right. So I'm pretty sure you saw the flashover. You know it. And for our listeners, for their first time, we play a game called the flashover. All right. What I'll do is I'll ask Sean a couple of questions, maybe something like Android, Apple. He has to give me the answer really quick. Okay. All right. So are you ready for the flashover?
Yeah.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to change it up. Got a couple of extra questions in there, and then we're going to go into like some movies, TV shows, and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's start. At a parade, would you want to drive the rig or drive the chief truck? You're at a parade. Oof. Which one do you want to drive?
The rig.
The rig?
Yeah.
You're driving the rig in there. Okay. All right. Another thing. Calendar photo shoot or walk in that parade, 100 degrees, full Class A. Which one you doing? They come to you, they're like, Sean, over there they're doing a calendar shoot. You can go over there, or you're gonna have to walk in this parade, full Class A, 100 degrees.
A calendar. You gotta get a calendar. Yeah, you gotta. I like the parade thing, but honestly, the 100 degrees is rough. I remember. Crazy. Yeah. I remember those days.
It gets crazy. All right. Talking about brush fire or rockin' dumpster fire?
Dumpster
fire?
Yeah.
Rockin' dumpster
quick,
fire.
go back available.
And see, I like the way your thought is.
Yeah.
All right. Basement fire or warehouse fire?
Basement
fire.
Yes.
Okay. All right. This is a good one. Confirmed car fire or automatic alarm with a light smoke condition?
Automatic alarm smoke.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Because
the car's a rolling dumpster. Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah.
Like
dumpster with wheels.
Yeah. That's it. We're going to put that out. But that automatic alarm light smoke condition,
potential.
That could be something that's going there. All right. At an installation dinner, right?
Okay.
Do you have to pick one? Do you sit with the commissioners or sit with the probies? Probies? Sitting with the probies all day.
All day. Yep.
Teach them. Yep. Have fun.
Let's go. Let's throw it down. Yes, one day a year.
Yeah. All right. So you are the captain. You're let's just say captain of your company, right? And there's a department critique coming up, right? Let's say it's at 10 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock now. All the guys are here. Do you, for those 2 hours before the department critique, do you have the guys clean the house or do you do another training?
No, we're drilling.
You're drilling.
Yeah. Maybe a quick little spot clean and then boys are just, let's get on and do something.
Maybe do both.
Yeah.
Do it clean real quick, but let's keep drilling.
You got to make it fun. It's like the leadership part of it. You got to make it fun.
That's it. That is so true.
Yep.
All right. Let's get into these movies. All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Chicago Fire, Rescue Me.
Rescue Me.
Rescue Me.
Yeah.
Rescue Me, Third Watch.
Rescue Me.
Rescue Me again.
Yeah.
We're a Rescue Me fan.
Yeah.
Why? Talk to me.
New York.
That's it. New York.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah. I grew up watching
That's it. You love it. All right. Backdraft, Ladder 49, and why?
This is a tough one.
Backdraft, Ladder 49, and why?
So I gotta say Ladder 49.
Okay. Yeah. So why? Why do we go Ladder 49?
So it's gonna sound crazy, but the smoke in Backdraft, watching it is so fake. It is not even like remotely possible that happens. So yeah, and then now being down there, like Ladder 49 is Baltimore City based.
Yeah, so you're like
a little closer to home.
Ladder 49.
Yep.
How many times have you watched that in Firehouse when you lived there?
Repeat.
It's just running at this moment.
Yeah, we had a little thing. We were watching Backdraft though for a while because we were like, if we watch Backdraft, then maybe we'll go to a fire. So we're like, let's just keep watching it until we go to fire.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's like the superstition. We gotta
tell
them. It's like, nah, just play it, bro.
Yeah,
a fire's gonna come through. Just play it. And all it takes is one time for a fire to come through while Backdraft is on. Guess what?
Sold.
It's always on.
It's always on.
Sold. I believe it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. So most important question, and I know that you're going to. I know what your answer is going to be. But most important
I think I'm gonna puzzle you here.
Yeah, and also I need to know why.
Yeah.
Either way you go, engine or truck.
Engine.
Yes. All right. I need to know. First of all,
because
I'm engine guy. So
yeah.
But why engine?
Yeah.
Because truck we got protection. This is what you grew up in, right?
I know it's hard. So.
And how does it work in Maryland? Is there engine company? No, so it's just everything.
One department.
So you just hop on whatever's
due on the run. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So why engine?
I have personally never seen a hook or spreaders put a fire out.
There you go.
It doesn't work like that. You can throw all the portable ladders you want. Fire's not going to go out.
It's not going to go out.
It's not going to go out. And down there, I think it was very different because I went down there truck. We have tiller trucks. Like I was tillering ladder truck. I love the truck. It's awesome. It's got its place. They are so prideful. I feel like New York's very truck centralized. Like they're very focused on the truck.
Yes.
Down there is the complete opposite. It's the engine. Yeah.
It's the engine.
Stretching hand lines. Like they pride themselves on that. Like they pride themselves on the engine company and the stretch and stuff like that.
Yeah. I wonder if it's more of the movies that make the truck work. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like we have, and we say it all the time, like, it's a truck fire. Like the truck that you need the truck for this fire.
Yeah.
And I like a good truck fire, but I like leading the engine company. It's just,
engine all day.
All
engine.
Day.
There we go.
All day. Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. Let me ask I guess a more deep question.
Mm-hmm.
in a whole, how has being a volunteer changed your life? How has it shaped your life?
Yeah. So if I look at everything I have now, I can tie it back to the guys that I was surrounded by growing up in the Firehouse. My military service, nobody in my family was in the military. So the guys that I knew that were in the military were from the Firehouse and told me about the opportunities and how it could benefit me, and obviously the service behind it and the legacy. And I was like, all right, like I would have never been in Maryland now if I didn't go in the military. I would have never been in the military if I wasn't in the Firehouse. Like everything I've done, like I have family that I'm literally closer with because my parents, their parents, we all grew up together. We were riding bikes going to fires, me and my cousin, we call him cousin, but our families were not related. They were from the Firehouse. Yeah. Like that's what it was. Yeah. Like that was my family.
That's how it is. Yeah.
So I didn't know anything else.
You didn't know anything else. Yeah. I love that. All right. A quick question, which is kind of, I guess, off topic, you know, because you've been in, 11, 12 years. Tell me about one piece of equipment that you've seen that has literally changed over the time that you've been in. Or that has assisted you to a point where you're like, you know what, that's probably my favorite tool of, being a firefighter.
Yeah, so a lot of guys, I heard them also on this, they talk about the senior man, and that's true. Like, there's a lot behind that. Like, that's a good one. Like, you can replace tools, you can get new tools, you can do whatever, but, like, you can't replace the senior guy. I would say tools, like, if you want to talk about actual tools, I would say battery, like, tools. We had an issue, we were having, like, running commercial building fires, and we were having trouble in the rear, like, getting in the rear, and we were like, all right, we can pull a saw back here, we do all this stuff, but like a little battery operated DeWalt saw, quick zip, and we're in.
And then you're in, you'll be able to do what you got to do.
That was something that
was
changed, to change the game for us.
Changed the game. Yeah. All right. So another question before we get out of here. If there's somebody right now that's listening, right, where, no matter where they are, right, and they're thinking about joining, or even possibly they're in and they only have, a month or so, what type of advice would you want to give them?
Just do it. Do it. Like, if the guys, most of the time, like, I always tell people, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So if, like, we used to tell guys, if you give us 100%, we'll give you 200. Like, if you're into it, we'll give you, and then down there it's different. Like, we can sell it a lot better. Like, yo, we'll give you a place to live. We'll give you, somebody here will find a job for you. Like, most of the time, somebody's got a job. Somebody does construction. Somebody hangs gutters. Somebody does something to where we'll get you a job, and all you gotta do is come run a fire truck. That's it. Go to a couple classes and go to work. Like, that's it. So that was, I would say do it. It was the best thing I ever did. And I say it's like the best thing I ever did. Like, I had a option.
I like a choice.
Yeah, but it's like I fell into it. Yeah,
just fell into it, and that's where it was. All right, really quick, just shout out. Is there any websites or anything like that for where you volunteer in Maryland?
Yeah.
Like, what's the name of everything that people can kind of look it up?
Yeah, so you can Google Hollywood Volunteer Fire Department.
Okay.
All our stuff comes up. We got a Instagram page, Solderly Heights Hose. That's pretty much for Maryland.
All right, so it's Hollywood Fire Department.
Yeah,
Hollywood Fire Department. Yep. Now, how do they join? Is it different from?
Yeah, so that was
a little bit different from Uniondale.
Yeah, that was a big.
Well, from Long Island.
I think so.
I'm so stuck on him being Uniondale, y'all. Listen,
I know.
I'm just like, he's Uniondale.
Dude, I think about it all the time. I'm like, dude, I could go back and like join truck and like
with no problem.
Yeah.
No investigation. He's coming right in. That's it. You just took a hiatus. But go ahead. What's the difference from Long Island joining Long Island to joining out there?
Yeah, so I could tell you real quick if you want how I joined real fast. So I literally thought like there was a process to it.
Okay.
So I was still overseas, and I like emailed the dude, when I was going to Bay District, I looked up run to work ratio. I was like, let me see what they're doing. Like, let's see the numbers here. Who's going to work? Which is big here, not big there. They were like, run to work ratio. What are you doing? Yeah. I'm like, okay. They're like, we just go to work. I'm like, okay. So I looked it up, sent an email. They were like, okay, let us know when you're here. I'm like, huh? God rest his soul, my buddy, he passed away. He's the one who's doing the recruitment at the time.
Okay.
And I was like, there's no way that it's this easy. So I went down, showed up, and that's how I got hooked, because I walked in a firehouse and they ran a fire that day. Or it wasn't a fire. They ran a box alarm for a house fire.
Okay.
And it was like no smoke, no nothing. There's hose in the street. There's ladders getting thrown. And then once it was done, it was just like clockwork. Okay, rack up the lines. Let's go. Stats available. Get available as fast as possible. And so within like my first day of being there, I had gear and everything. As long as I was certified, they were like, which I had my stuff from here.
Yeah.
So I just sent it to them. They were like, all right, yeah. I was like, and when I walked in the firehouse, they ran that call. They were like, get on. I'm like, get on.
Get on.
I'm like, up here, you can't even like go next town over and get on a fire truck. They're like, no, you guest ride. I'm like, guest ride.
Guest ride.
Yeah. So I bought like some of my buddies from like some guys from Manorville, West Hempstead.
Yeah.
Like guys came down and stayed in the firehouse for like a 24, and they stayed with us for 3 days. Yeah, they rode with us, and they were like, this is awesome. I
love that, man. Yeah. Listen, commissioners in Long Island, we need to start taking some of these ideas and bringing them out there.
That's crazy.
Wow,
how different it is. Yeah, it's insane. It was culture shock for me. 100% culture shock.
Yeah.
And there's no commissioners either,
yeah. So that's the other thing. Yeah. So there's no. How does the structure go?
Chiefs, like
the chiefs run everything pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. You have like an executive board in the firehouse, like a president and stuff. But most of the time, they do follow through with what the chief.
What the chief
wants. Like that was for me. The difference was like being a company captain, because here, you're the captain of the company. Like you're the man. Like that's your firehouse.
That's it.
That's how I was raised. Like you are it. So when the captain really wasn't like that. And then I was like, no, we're going to implement that. So when I became the captain, like the guys used to make jokes. They used to like click their hands. They'd be like, oh, everybody stop. The captain's speaking. Yeah. But it was, and like the pride in it. Like I'm the captain of this company. So
this is my house.
You guys are my guys. Like we're going to pride ourselves on doing good.
Yeah.
And that was a huge difference down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then getting guys in, we were just getting guys. We were right by the military base too.
Okay.
So it was like we always
guys
guys
would come over and
then we try to get them to get out and like just live in the firehouse.
And just like, just come right here.
Just come live here, bro.
Are you ever thinking about becoming chief?
I don't know. Dude, so with work, I've been so like legitimately like so busy lately. Like I've barely been around the firehouse. I hate it. Because like I said, I get FOMO. Like if I know the guys are going to a fire, I'm like, I'm missing something. Like guys send like Snapchats and stuff. I'm like, I don't even watch them because I'm like, jealous.
Like, I don't want to see.
I don't want to see what's going on. Maybe like down the road, if I can like really put the time. I'm big on like if I don't have the time for it, I'm not going to do it. So for me being a fireman now, it's good. Like I can come and go as I please. I go, sleep in once in a while.
Yeah.
Bunker room, hang out with the guys, have dinner. So
and then come and
then I could always jump in my police car and go to fire.
And go to fire if you want.
Yeah.
I love it. Yep. Listen, Sean, thank you so much, man, for coming out to the firehouse and just telling us about your life. I mean, it's interesting, man. Yeah. It's interesting. That canine thing, I love, man. I really love that thing, man. Shout out to Atlas. What's up, Atlas? What's up? But is there anything that I'm forgetting before we get out of here? Is there anything that I'm forgetting?
No.
Good.
Shout out to the
shout out to Hollywood.
Guys. Yeah,
shout out to Uniondale. There we go.
Those guys made me who I am. I firmly believe that. Teddy, Joe Rodriguez, Anthony.
Joe's chief now.
Yeah,
he's crazy. He went back in as chief. I'm like, hey, you're crazy, buddy.
Anthony, Ray, all these guys, like they built me. They made me.
Yeah, raising Myrtle, loving life.
Yeah.
All right, listen, man. Thank you again so much for coming down. We just heard from my boy Sean Hendrickson from the Hollywood Fire Department in Maryland, but honorary Uniondale Fire Department member right here. All right, about his life as a firefighter. I hope you all enjoyed the conversation. Please like, share, subscribe, do all of those things. I am your host, Chris Moses, and please tune in next week to another great conversation